Okay, that's the thumbnail, and we're going to do this in one take to help prove the point of this video, because I used to be a chronic overthinker, like to a very extreme extent, to the point where, for example, I remember back in my day, probably a couple years ago, like if I did one thing, I had a girlfriend, if I did anything wrong, or like I felt like anything was off, maybe like she wasn't talking as much, I would write out and send up to like 4 to 5 Snapchats full of text. And this sounds like a joke. Like, it sounds like a joke, but it is so true. There's that. I mean, I think that's the most extreme example I can give to try and give you the sort of overthinker I was. In school and everything, I got to the point where I was like, I rather do anything else except overthink. I rather risk, I got to the point where I was willing to figure out whatever it takes to just stop overthinking. And I wanted to let you guys know what I was able to do. And I hope that this can help some people out in the future. I'm opening up a Google Doc that I wrote like some small amounts of notes, but I am kind of tired right now. I just ate dinner, so I'm a little tired. But anyways, with that being said, okay, so yeah, for anyone overthinking, I can start you with this, and I can give you the voice that I wish I had a long time ago, but still want to try and improve. Basically, in one sentence, I can help you try and stop overthinking, which is, or not in one sentence, but hopefully this perspective can help you, and that's, you're in control of your mind. And what's funny is I told this to someone, and they started laughing, like, oh yeah, I wish that was the case. But there are tons of people who are in control of their mind. And it's not like 100% total control of your mind. When you look at stuff, thoughts come in. That's just the truth of the matter. Like, you can't just do that. But what you can do is choose whether to indulge into a thought or not into a thought. And that is a fact. It is just a found-blown fact. So if you want to not agree with that, then you're basically just deluding yourself into making it harder for yourself. Because the truth is, you can control your mind, at least to an extent where you can choose not to overthink. And you can choose to be healthier. And that is an option, and that is the truth of the matter, and I promise you it is that way, because whenever I was overthinking, I wish that was the case, and I kept trying until it ended up being a reality. And so it is a real thing. You are in control of your mind. Even if right now you're not, you can be. And the reason you can be is because there's thousands, maybe millions of people who are in control of their mind every single day. And it's definitely more rare, but if you want to, you can be. And so, yeah, I can say that from personal experience and from people that I know. And personally, I can go through my story. Like I said, I was overthinking a lot, and I learned to stop overthinking. Like right now, if there's a thought that I don't care for, I just don't think about it, and it just goes away. And I just go and move forward with my life, because I've gone through a lot of experience, and I know I can do that, and I've proven to myself I don't have to overthink to get through things. A bunch of other stuff. Either way, it felt impossible. Put myself into my shoes like 4 years ago. This is the advice I would give myself, to stop overthinking as quick as possible, because it sucks. It's a waste of energy, and it's a lose-lose situation, because most of the time you're overthinking what you're thinking about isn't actually going to be the case at all. And so here I wrote down a few things to try and reduce it. And I would say I have some actionable things, but I also just have some tips and tricks. First tip I would give is stop doing things that cause overthinking. If you truly are like, I am so tired of overthinking, then stop doing stuff that will lead to you being insecure and overthinking. And the number one thing I would assume is scrolling TikTok or any sort of short form. It is a constant comparison with others. When you are in constant comparison, you're overthinking all the time. And it's not your fault. Like, even when I go out or watch TikTok, I will subconsciously compare myself to things, even though I'm not even like in that overthinking mindset anymore. It still just happens. And if you are mentally like not sturdy, it's just, you're going to keep overthinking when you see things like that. Number 2 is, instead of overthinking, do action. So what this means is work instead of think, because most of the time not only will action get your mind preoccupied off of it, it will also just like, if you just say to yourself, I'm just not going to overthink, you're going to start overthinking. If you try and think about nothing, you're going to start overthinking. And so the way you do fix that is to just do actions and actual work that matters. Especially if you're overthinking, like, oh, should I talk to this person or should I not? walk away or go up to the person. That will answer your question and you'll learn a lot faster. It is way easier to say that. Everyone knows, like, it's way easier to say that, but that's just an example. Do more work, do action, because when you do action, your mind won't be forced to go into blank areas. Okay, and now these two are the things that changed my life in terms of overthinking. Number one was I gave myself a reason, a purpose, a mission that allowed me to, one, first of all, it gave me work to work on, and two, it gave me reason to try and better myself. Without a purpose, you're almost just floating. Like, why even stop trying to overthink if you have no reason to? And so you need, I would say you would want to give yourself a mission. And I never believed in like a purpose or a mission. I thought that was a bunch of baloney. And then I read a couple of books and I was like, hey, maybe this is actually a true thing. You know what I mean? I've learned that giving yourself I'm sorry, my computer is so cooked. There we go. Giving yourself a mission and a purpose is actually a real thing. And isn't that so cool? Because you're born and you have these certain skills, personality traits that you can do something that only you uniquely can do. And everyone has that. You are like, it's just part of who you are. And that's the truth of the matter. So for me, what I did, I'll just give my personal example. I was like, okay, I chose a career path that I wanted in life. That was basically my dream. I didn't know my specific dream because I'm like, I don't have a clear vision of what I wanted, but I chose the thing that I thought I wanted most and started actively going towards that to live a life that I really wanted. I think that's a better way to summarize it. I went after making a life that I really wanted. I think that's a relatable thing, but when it comes down to it, it's like whatever you want in life, go for that. It doesn't have to be super extravagant or big, just whatever you care for. I remember Naval, he's a type of business guy. He talks about like true intelligence in a person is, did they get what they want in life? That's it. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to have high IQ. It's just like, did you get what you want? So I would say if you're going after getting what you want in life, that was what I gave myself purpose with. And it gave me a reason to stop overthinking, because when I was overthinking, it was going against, like, it was not helping me get towards my goals. If you don't have goals, it's hard to like do anything. So I would try and find a goal that excites you or motivates you, or a career path that, even if it doesn't motivate you, is the thing you want, because over time it will become motivating if you get good at it. So pick something, give yourself a purpose is my advice. But like I said, just giving yourself a reason to stop overthinking. Another one is a girlfriend. For me, I had a girlfriend and was going after what I wanted, so it double timed it. I knew that if I was overthinking, I would be less attractive. That was probably my biggest motivator. I wanted to be able to get a girlfriend that I really wanted, and overthinking is honestly not a very attractive habit, and it also is unhealthy. And so those two things are like, okay, that makes me not want to overthink. But if you're not motivated, anyways, this next part, this is like the most overpowered thing that I did to stop overthinking. It is, you're going to think it's stupid. Most people think it's stupid, but I promise you it is not. It's meditation. And you're like, this sounds too hard. This is how easy meditation is. Ready? And that was basically 5 seconds of meditation. You can do it anywhere. You can do whatever it is. All you have to do, this is the way I do it. I'll give you some tips and tricks. What I did was just think of your breath only. The feeling of the cold air going in and out of your nose, that feeling, not thinking of breathing, not telling yourself breathe in, breathe out. No, just feel the feeling of cold air coming in and cold air coming out. And if any thought comes in your mind, you can think about it and just try and be like, that's okay that I thought about something in your mind, and slowly let it go. Just be like, I'm going to let this thought go, and keep breathing in and out and try and bring your focus back to that point. Don't do it too aggressively. I used to do that. It's fine. I mean, you can. That's what I did for like years. But you do this for me, you don't even have to set a time limit. If you do this for 5-10 minutes, you can immediately see a different result. If you chronically overthink like I used to do, when you have constant thoughts, if you meditate like this, the thoughts will literally just go away and stay there, and you can calm yourself down literally in 10 minutes. It is the biggest life hack you can do. This was my strategy. I would meditate. I read books. I reduced things that caused overthinking, and I gave myself a clear reason that it made me motivated to stop overthinking. And for me, that was going after my biggest dream I possibly could, or getting a girlfriend. I promise you guys, if you do these things, it will work, and you can stop chronically overthinking. I think This stuff, maybe if it's outdated, I think it's all the fundamental things that will help. But if you want to stop overthinking, just know you can. And it's really just a process. It takes time, but if you have these motivators and really care for something, you can do it. So just try your best. Promise you meditation is life-changing. Things that just don't cause a bunch of overthinking. Try that. I'm repeating myself, but I love you guys. I was just about to press upload, but I decided I was going to add one more point. Still in one take, but usually it comes from practice. So I think, doing those things, you're going to learn a lot. But the biggest thing is whenever you feel yourself about to overthink about something, practicing letting go and not caring instead of just not indulging in thoughts. If you're about to overthink about something, say your girlfriend does something bad, or you're worried about something, or there's something going on like that's causing an overthinking, try and catch yourself and think through, is thinking about it going to help anything? But is it going to do anything, or is it going to make you more worried? If it doesn't actually do anything, just stop thinking. It is so satisfying too. Just try and do something else. Even if you can't stop thinking, do something actionable, do something to get your mind off of it. Just practice letting go. It is actually possible. Even right now, if you're listening to this and you're thinking of why you can't or why not, if that's not going to help you, don't do it. Just do action. Okay, meditate. Okay, do something else. Just practice the doing and not the thinking. Anyways, that is all. It's still technically one take. I'm sorry. It's not the same take, but we're not overthinking it.